Hi guys, this is your Miracle coming at you. Hi, I got several requests and comments regarding how I did my wrap around my martini glasses. So I want to show you guys how I did it. You see this? This is this beautiful wrap that I got here and I have done. And it's very, very simple and fast and easy to do. So I'm going to demonstrate using the crystal rhinestones that I got from Amazon, some E6000, hand sanitizer, just some scissors, toothpicks, and a couple pieces of the glass just to show you what I've done and how I've done it. When using these things, remember with E6000, make sure you get the ones with the white cap. I actually got the black cap and the glue is actually black. I use a sanitizer just in case I get any glue on my fingers. I got easy to swipe it off. I have parchment paper down here, so sometimes the glue will drip and I can easily scoop it up using the toothpicks, and I'll demonstrate what the toothpicks are for. I noticed doing so many of these martini glasses that this is just a really easy way for me to do this. Okay, and I just found another fun way to do it. So I am going to get started. So just stay tuned and watch what I do. Okay, guys. Okay, so what I'm going to do is the martini glass first. And put this to the side. And with the martini glass, I'm going to just do the stem only. So I'm going to start from this point here up into a slight angle here. I'm not going to go all the way up. You don't want to cut it too short. And the reason why I use the toothpicks is, you see where the stem ends? You just want that real fine toothpick to glue it here, bring it up, and kind of stop here. So let me demonstrate. So sometimes I'll put my glue like just over here just to get this started. And I will take the toothpick, and you can see I'm going to run this right at that edge just to get this started. And once I'm getting started here, what I can do now is take the glue and beat it along. I take the stirry stick and kind of just smooth it and bring this up. And that way it won't be too much glue. And I can just smooth it around. Okay, so what I'm going to do real quickly is here is start the edge at the bottom. You see how it goes on. And I slowly turn it. So I like this method because you could just twist it on. Okay, and when you start seeing gaps, this is why I use the toothpick, because you can just press it down and shape it, because you don't want any spaces in between. Can you see that? Don't pull too tight. Just beat it and just let it go around. That's all you do. To this point, you can kind of push it down yourself. I'm just using the tips of my fingernails just to push the top of the rhinestones so I don't get any glue on my fingers. My fingers are a little sticky, so I'm using the Purell so it won't be so sticky and tacky. So again, I'm just twirling, pushing it down. This is very simple, very easy to do. Then when you see your glues running out, just do another bead. Okay. I'm watching the edge because I don't want to go past this, so I'm being really, really careful not to have it go past a certain point. And make sure when you twist these beads that this is the back part of the beads. Like I said, I'm pressing as I'm going. Okay. All right, guys, so when you get to this point, just put a little glue on your stick because you want to be more precise. And I want mine to stop just about here. So I'm going to go to this angle and turn. I'm going to go up just slightly more. This time I'm going to take a toothpick and then I want to stop about here. Okay. I'm going to take it to this point. I'm going to cut. You can easily cut it. All right, so where it stops is where the glue stops, about right here. Stab it along. The reason I'm doing it like this is just, I just don't want to have excess glue sticking out where your glass is. So I'd rather just dot it when I'm coming to the end. Get another fresh toothpick. This part is just a little tedious, but you guys, we want this to look professional. Sometimes, like in art school, you know, we don't rush through our projects. We take our time. Okay. Almost done. And I'm going to close it up with this little drop right here. There we go. Make sure the last one is going to be nice and secure. And we have this here. Okay. There you go. Your sparkling martini glass. Okay guys, the first thing I did was this one here. I just kind of measured how much I need of this. So I just kind of like wrapped it around while it was on the rope here. And I just kind of like, just wrapped it just to see how much I need, and I just cut it from there. Okay, so now what I want to do is glue it. If any gaps like this, any gaps anywhere, just make sure you just kind of push it down. No glue, see? All right, so you don't want to put too much of glue on it. All right, I'm at the edge right here. I can kind of stop it here. So I need just a little more glue at the edge. again, I'm just using a little to tack it on to the point of the edge, and I'm just taking the rest of it carefully and I'm whipping it around. There you go. And that's how it looks. So that one is done. Okay guys, I am back with the second glass. This is beautiful, sort of the sapphire blue I got from one of my hauls. So this glass has a different shape, as you can see. Okay, it's more narrow, then it goes up to a bevel and it goes small again. So again, I'm going to start to the point of here and stop here where the blue line is, and I don't want to go any further. So it's going to be the same technique as I used before, but this one you have to watch when you string it, and like each row you got to kind of press it together because it's at an angle. This is a little more difficult to do than the typical martini glass. So I'm going to put some glue here. I'm going to start up this end. And I'm going to do the same thing as far as bringing the glue to the edge and letting it stop right here. So I'm basically just pushing it down. Again, remember I said I do this way. To me, it's easier for me. And I can kind of control where that line is rather than just putting it on there. Because I figure if I squeeze it directly on here, it might go past the bottom of the stem. And I don't want that to happen. And I'm smearing it around. Like I said, this stuff does not take a lot of glue. You don't want to glob it because it's a very fine crystal rope. So it doesn't need to be globbed. So just kind of smear it out. Probably you could use a brush too, but to me, this is easy. Alright, so again, what we're going to do is start at this edge here, all the way at the tip. Just let it dangle. Okay, I'm bringing my string forward, and I'm just going to turn. Make sure all your crystals are lined forward up. Okay, so we don't want anything that's going to be twisted. You see that? So make sure your beads is forward looking at you. Okay. Again, we're going to push this down, all the way down to reach the bottom over here. So as I turn, I'm pressing it down till it can't press anymore. Here we go. Same technique. Make sure the crystals is looking up at you. And then don't let it pour. Just kind of guide it. Just let it wrap around. Especially for this one. Because since it has different angles and shapes, you don't want to have a gap. So you want to, every sort of line or two, you want to kind of push it down and shape it. like I said, I don't have any tension on here at all. I'm just turning it. Make sure there's no glue on your fingers. If you're not comfortable doing this way, go back and use the toothpicks here. Technically, this only is going to take about less than maybe 7-8 minutes to do. Once you get used to doing them, it's really fast. That's why I brush the glue on instead of me dabbing. Make sure it's nice and tight. Make sure you don't see any gaps. Press it all the way down. Let me bring this a little closer so you guys can see. Always give yourself some extra, chain. Alright, it's ready for a little bit more glue. Okay. Alright, so I don't see any gaps, any lines at all. As you can see, no gaps. Okay, so it's ready for some more glue. Don't make it too close because you want to work with this. Bring it up. Okay. Make sure this is pointed forward. And again, let me bring this cloth here. I like the cloth because I like to lay the glass on it as I turn it. Okay, so now when this angle is getting wider, what I like to do is really push it. Again, make sure you're not pulling too tight, because what happens is if you pull this too tight, it's going to be hard to push down. So if you have a gap here and this is tight here, it's going to have lines here. That means you're going to have to loosen this back up. So just make sure there's no tension and you're just turning. around this area here. You see where it has that beveled? It sort of comes out a little bit more. Okay, so I need a little more glue. Have my toothpick in again. I'm being careful not to get down there. When I get that close, I will put the glue on the toothpick. And this is my technique. You guys can come with your own, but again, to me, it's easier. Once you get that glue right, it's easier just to keep rolling and wrapping it. And you can get a few lines at a time, at least some lines in before reapplying the glue. So, like I said, I've tried different methods, and so far this has been the fastest, simplest, easiest way. And I'm pushing it down. I think I see a gap. Actually, my crystal went on the side. What I told you guys not to do. There we go. Got it. And since I caught it in the third line, right here, it was easy for me to adjust it back. So just keep checking it. And my little gaps over this little area here, I gotta be really careful. Again, I'm just checking for any spaces. I see an imperfection right here. So I'm gonna lift these two up and twist my beads. Because they turned. And you see how I did that, and I was easy to fix that and just push these back down. So if that happens, that's why you don't want to make it too tight, because at least gave me some flexibility to fix the crystal beading. There we go. Perfect. And I'm pushing down so I see no gaps. And you almost just practically like laying it on here, almost like this, see? No slack. And then press these down. And you can stand them up like this, just to make sure you don't see any gaps in between. I don't see any. Okay, because I'm coming to the edge, I prefer to put the glue directly on here, and that way I can control and stop where this is going. And I'm stopping it right at the top of the stem because I don't want a glob of glue. So you guys can see that. You see where I'm going here? I'm stopping here, right at this line. So I'm continuing where the glue left off, where the rhinestones are, and I'm stopping because I can see where the blue part of the goblet meets the stem, so it's very easy to see. And I like with the parchment, you know, you could just kind of put a little glob here and just get it up. Easy cleanup. Okay. Alright, I think all of it is now covered. And I'm going to continue, and I want to have this forward this way so I can really see if I have any problems or any lines going on. It's like you really got to form and shape it. When it gets to this bevel part, it has to be formed and shaped. And since you're working with a glue that it takes a while to adhere, you have plenty of time. Just in case. So I stand it up so I can press down on the stems this way. So you can see I'm pressing down. So if there's gaps, I can go from line to line, and I have that slack to mold it. I'm just pressing because I see like a little space here, so I'm just pressing these down. I'm using my fingers because I need the extra pressure that the Q-tips won't give me. And I'm coming towards the end, so I'm ready to cut off some of this. See guys, so I came to the edge here. I stopped the glue there, and you see I have no glue, and I have this little thing here. I'll just put a dab of glue on that. But this is why I use the Q-tips, because I don't want to have any glue, excess glue coming out of that one. And it gives it a more cleaner edge. So I'm just going to go back and add just a dab of glue. Only need a dab. To the tip of the Q-tip, just for those little piece right here. Okay. All right. I need a little bit more. Let's see if I can put it on the bead itself. Yeah, I can. Just making sure it doesn't get any crystals, because it does turn like it's doing now. All right. Okay, so guys, this is how it looks. I don't see any gaps. This is beautiful with the sapphire. And you can see how it forms the shape here. And I stopped it at the bottom of the stem. There is no glob, there's no glue, there's no mess. So again, whatever method that works for you, works for you. But I would actually just use just like those little picks here and here, and then you could put the glue on in between, just so you don't have that excess. All right, well, this is my version. Again, I'm going to just make sure. I think I need another piece here. Let me see. I do. And that's it. So this is my sparkly goblet, and I showed you the Martini one. So again, thank you guys for watching my channel. I hope you understood what I did. Do you have any more questions? Someone asked you, can you put in the water? I think I'll test it to make sure the ones that's already dried, and maybe I'll test this one here, because this is just an extra one Martini glass. Maybe I'll throw this in the dishwasher to see. I can't imagine if it's E6000, it should last, you know, so because it's pretty durable glue. So I'll put it in, test it. So these are the two glasses, your sparkly glasses. Okay, thanks guys, from your More Girl.